In this lesson, we'll wrap up this course by learning how to save and load presets for our custom image tracing. Okay, so this is the Lesson 7 Begin file if you want to open this up and follow along. So let's say that you have several different raster images that you want to process with image trace in exactly the same way. Well, that's actually a pretty simple thing to do, and it involves creating your own custom preset. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started. Now, these are, again, all images from my Chicago trip. So if we look over here in the swatch panel, I've gone ahead and created a custom swatch group, very similar to the one we looked at in the previous lesson. And I've saved 4 colors inside it, a white color and 3 hues of kind of a brown. So let's just say that those are the colors we want to use for our image trace. We'll come over here and select our first image. And let's go ahead and set up the settings here. I'm going to go ahead and choose the preset for 3 color, and we'll let Illustrator process that. We're going to actually modify these settings a little bit and apply our own color scheme to this. But we'll go ahead and begin with this basic 3 color preset that, again, it's one of the factory presets that ships with Illustrator. All right, great. So there we go. It's just about done, and there is our initial tracing. Now at this point, just to avoid any further processing until we're done making changes, I'm going to come in and uncheck Preview. But I'm going to come over here to the palette, and let's go ahead and drop that down and choose our document library again. And we'll come over here and choose that Chicago swatch group right there. And if we really wanted to, we could come down here and make any other changes that we might possibly want applied to this. Maybe we want to ignore the white areas. Let's see here. We'll come in and make the paths fitting a little bit more accurate. Maybe set that at about 75%. We'll come in and maybe lower the corners down a little bit. And let's go ahead and pick up on a little bit more of the noise. We'll drop that down to about 5 pixels. There we go. So let's say we've got all of the settings configured just the way we want to. I'll go ahead and preview them here so we know kind of how that looks, and we can make sure that it meets our standards. So let's say that this is kind of the look we're wanting to go for, and now we're ready to go ahead and begin processing other images with these same settings. Now, obviously we could come in here and reconfigure all of this for every single image, but that could be kind of time consuming. So it's going to be much easier to come to this little button right up here and drop that down and choose Save as New Preset. Now when we do that, Illustrator is going to prompt us to name the preset. I'll just call this something like Chicago, just like so. And we'll go ahead and hit OK. And now you can see the name of this preset up here is now Chicago. So if you drop this down, you can see it's added to the bottom of my list of presets here. So now at this point, we could just go ahead and click off of this. We'll just zoom out a little bit here. I'll come over here, select this second image, and let's go and apply our Chicago preset. We'll go ahead and add that in there and let Illustrator do its thing. And you can see it's applied the exact same look to this second image. Now, even though it says all colors, it's quite obviously using our Chicago swatch group to apply the colors to that. So we'll come in and apply that Chicago preset one more time to our last image here. And there we go. We've processed 2 additional images in really the blink of an eye, just because we took the time to create our own custom preset. Now, in order to delete these presets, let me just come into that same exact menu here, and I do have one of these images where that preset is applied. We can come in here and we can either choose to delete the preset, or we could come in and rename the preset as well. So now I'm going to give you one little bit of warning. If you come in here and look at the presets, any of these presets below this little line right here inside of image trace can be deleted, and they're really difficult to recover once they have been deleted. And what I've had to do is simply come in and actually rebuild the preset manually. So be really careful. You can't delete any of these presets, the default presets up here that have buttons for them, but any of these presets below that line here inside of Illustrator CS6 can be deleted. So at this point, this is going to bring us to the end of this course. Hopefully you've learned a few new things, and you can now take those and begin applying them to your own raster to vector conversion needs. Thanks for joining me.